A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. In this channeling session, there is a person who is speaking to God and saying that how could I let my true love go? And there is a big feeling of helplessness over here. I do see masculine, I do see male person over here, but again, in the twin flame journey, I need to make it clear to more and more people with time. I think more and more people will know that men can also have feminine energy. And when they have to go higher in the journey, or when they realize their mistakes, or where they go through the pain of separation on their end also, then the Kundalini awakening happens. And awakening has already happened actually. The rising of the Kundalini starts happening. Okay, awakening happens in both men and women. It happens and then it becomes dormant for a certain period of time. Okay, so then the pain is required in order to make it rise, make it start, that whole process, to take over completely. So here the person is saying, and I would like to say masculine collective, but pretty much it's going to be the same later on, because it is the feminine collective that goes through the pain first, and then the masculine is going to go through it later on once the feminine has gotten out of it. Okay, and then most people think that feminine means only female. So here the person is feeling very bad, first of all, that he or she, when the time was there, when their lover, their partner was there with them, at that time they did not understand the love and the emotion. At that point in time, I think there is some kind of sexual energy also which is involved over here. So there is a lust also, and they feel that they were being very, very mean actually, and selfish, and they were not spiritually mature at that time. They were not in clear energies, they were in toxic energies. Because of those toxic energies, they could never recognize that person, the true love. They used the statement true love a lot of times because they felt true love. See, this person experienced love, okay? However, at that moment in time, they did not have the understanding, the knowledge and the maturity. They did not have it because they were programmed in such a way that they did not have that understanding back then. So they thought that they can play with it or they can let it go, and they were more concerned about their ego and their image. So there are two types of image that people are concerned about. One image is in the public, okay, in other people socially, and the other image is like between two people. So say if your girlfriend comes and tells you, for example, it's between a guy and a girl, your girlfriend tells you that you have certain unhealthy habits, okay, like you drink a lot, or you stay up the whole night, you don't work out, you're just like literally on the couch all the time, you're not doing any job, you're not working, you're not independent, something, and she says that, my parents, they need to see me settle with a guy who's like responsible, but you're not. So he's not going to take it like a feedback or her pain, because she's also suffering. Otherwise, why would she say this to him? Or he's not going to look at this with discernment, because at that time he doesn't know how to handle these things. So he starts pointing the finger at her and starts saying that you are the reason of my problems. Because of you, I don't feel like doing anything. Because of you, I'm demotivated. Because of you, I'm negative. Because of you, I'm unhealthy. So all of the blame is going to go on this poor girl, who is actually telling him that, you know what, you need to fix this situation. You need to work on yourself. You can't continue like this. But the ego, that anger or that whole thing that people do, most people do it actually, all those who are not in spiritual maturity, that they, instead of getting the message, the point of the whole thing, they start looking at the person who's delivering the message. So they want to kill the messenger. We should never kill the messenger. The messenger is just coming and telling you that, look, this is the situation. So many kings and queens, they've made this mistake in the past. In the history also, it was actually told to them that you can never kill the messenger, you can never harm the messenger. For the messengers also, it used to be a big risk. Sometimes very powerful messengers used to go, who could fight with like many people at one time. They would be having a lot of accessories like those weapons and all, so that no one would mess with them. Or there were times when people would devise ways to send messengers through birds, like the messengers would be eagles or kites, and they would just drop the letter and leave, because it became too risky at one time. So same is the problem over here. The messenger who's only there to just let them know that, what, I'm going through this, or I'm going through this, in the sense others are putting me through this, and we need to figure out a way. Like, what about the future? What about this? What about that? Sometimes when you're in a relationship, you do feel worried, and I'm not saying that other people are responsible to always relax you. You should also be the one to relax yourself, but sometimes you want to discuss it with your partner. Sometimes you want to talk it out with them. And then we need to listen to them, and we need to not argue with them at that time, because we just need to know their point of view. So here the person is truly regretting for not understanding the message back then. So they feel now that they had a wonderful opportunity in their life, a wonderful person, God sent, literally an angel on earth was sent to them. At least for them, they would say that this person was like an angel to me. And they let this opportunity go, and they made some really bad choices in their life, some really wrong choices, some really wrong options they took, and you don't know an option is wrong or right till the time you don't go through it, till the time you don't suffer from it, you don't suffer through the agony, you don't figure it out. So at that time when he was making those choices, he or she, they did not think about it as such. Okay, like what am I doing? I feel that this person was actually literally unaware, and they kind of fooled themselves into believing something else that was not true, and because of which they also suffered later on. When you're not in the zone, in the right space, then you also don't recognize. So it takes time. So the other person, again, it could be man, woman, the other person on the other side did their inner work, changed themselves, accepted all the pain and all the separation and all the agony and all the suffering, and they took it for a long time, say 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever number of time, but they just kept working on themselves, and this shifted the energy drastically. Okay, and when the energy shifts drastically, whosoever is connected with that person, all of them get to know that this person is not the culprit, this person is not the bad person. So people assume that, like the DM or the DF has not recognized me. Okay, they have not recognized me, so they are at fault. Sometimes it also happens because we don't recognize ourselves. So when we cannot recognize who we are, how can we expect the others to recognize us? Even that is an important point. So now that this person has done the inner work and knows a lot of things, there is a big shift on the other side too. And they recognize their mistakes, they recognize the misunderstandings most importantly, and they also feel that it was so small, it was not such a big deal. I made it a big deal. Now it's their time to figure out, like, why did I make it a big deal? Why was I insecure? Why was I scared? Why did I assume that they're going to reject me or they don't love me when we hadn't even reached to that point in the relationship? They also feel that, they were quite demanding back then, and they were expecting a lot too soon. There's always a time and place for things. Like when your relationship has not reached that point, you cannot demand so much love and attention and affection and commitment and so many of these things. So back then, they feel that they were in a hurry, but they were doing it very subtly. They were not like in the face at first. Like, they were testing this person out, like if this person really loves me or not, if this woman loves me or not, this much, as much as she is telling me. And if she really loves me, then she needs to make certain actions and certain steps. Like, what about love that you feel within yourself, within your heart? Is it always required to do some physical activities just to prove love? Now, they did not know that. And they had to learn it, because now that they haven't done any physical activity with this person, forget about physical actions, they've not even met this person. They've not even seen this person. They were maybe upset with this person. Maybe they blocked this person. And now, after some time has passed by and they've met couple of people and they've had some kind of experiences, they realize that, you know what, I was in a big hurry, or I was anxious. Sometimes when we have this anxiety inside of us, we start projecting it outside too. They also feel that they also were in love with this person a lot. But at that time, they were in the zone of taking, take, receiving, not giving. They were not being a giver. And in fact, if they would give one small thing, say they would give a book, okay, just a book, and after 2 years they want to connect with this person, they'll keep using the book as an excuse. Hey, can you give me my book? Can you give me my book? Can you give me my... Like, they forget totally that they were mean to this person, they were rude to this person, they were expecting a lot from this person, they were treating this person like a doormat or a carpet. But they actually use it because, this is like self-sabotaging behavior. So this person realizes that I was the self-sabotager. I was the one who was sabotaging my own relationship by talking weird stuff, by not really understanding, by acting like an overprivileged person. Like I had privileges, very toxic kind of a behavior it was, So now that they've grown out from that toxic behavior, because they got, when they then tried to fix it up, they did not get the right response. Like some of the masculines also in this journey, they actually don't contact the person, they block the person, and they expect. Now, I have always been pro inner work. I've always focused more on inner work. And I think that's the thing that got me out from a lot of situations. And that's why I recommend inner work to other people also, because I could see how protection and surrender and guidance, it really helps us a lot. But when they would come back to you, they would start talking to you, they would drop some kind of a sarcasm or some kind of a remark that you didn't talk to me, like you were missing or you had vanished. So then this makes us understand that, when you give space to people, maybe both the people are feeling the same things, like the other person has vanished. The other person thinks that person has vanished. Maybe there is some kind of inner work one needs to do. And usually when these people have vanished, they always have something to deal with in life. Like something is going on in their life, but other people won't know. Only those people who are doing inner work would know that. Would probably learn by that time to give space to other people or give time to other people, and let them grow naturally, organically. Like wait for them to grow sometimes, but not wait like you've stopped doing everything in your life. You don't care, about your own self. So you continue to do what you love and you let them grow. And when they come back, they would literally say the same things to you or similar things to you, similar kind of expectations and similar type of things. It may feel a bit toxic also. It may feel a bit weird also. But then if you are busy and you have other things to do and you have other people and you have, your mission work, maybe your career, maybe your own hobbies, you will not feel that gap. And at the same time, you will also let people be so that they learn their lessons and they can come back to you and talk to you. The problem with this person here is that they are not able to talk. They cannot talk to you because, everybody goes through guilt and everybody goes through that time frame when they realize their mistakes. So they need time. There is a phase that is required where they can also do some reflection, some more inner work, some kind of introspection, and then they can build up the stamina and the courage, or something has to happen in their life, something drastic has to happen in their life where they feel a lot of pain and they realize that, the only person I can go to right now is this person. Maybe it's you in this case, because you're listening to the channeling. So why are you listening to the channeling? Because you need to know that maybe sometimes people are toxic, they are immature, it's not the right time yet, and maybe they don't heal fully when they come back to you. Maybe they always come back to people, they always go to people when they need people. Or, that neediness is not really a negative thing, because we all need somebody or the other. Or they love you, they really like you, they enjoy your company. Everything is great, but they have their own limitations, their own limiting beliefs, own life, own challenges, programming, families, failures, health issues. Anything can happen, And I've seen that family is one of the biggest reasons why people actually do what they do. Because everybody cares about their family, or everybody is attached to their family. And family is very big. Sometimes friends are also included in family, because they are like, literally like family. They have been in their life, in the people's life. Some of the friends I've seen, and I'm also talking about toxic friends over here. So toxic friend has been in the life of this person for, say, 20 years, 15 years. So they are literally like family, because you can't really separate a person who's been around you for 15, 20 years. Maybe if it's meant to be, then universe will separate them away if they're not on the path of inner work. Or if, say, you get triggered by those friends and those family members who create separation for you and your person constantly, like they always act like a wall, or they always create negativity, then at that point in time, you need to actually think about it, like, why is this happening to me, and what do I need to heal in this? What is my lesson? The lesson is usually around craving, aversion, and attachment. Okay? Rag, Dvesh, and Asakti. These are the 3 lessons usually. Coming back to the feelings of this person who's really like feeling bad now and questioning again, how could I do this? How could I do this? How could I not recognize this person? And how could I do this to my true love? This person was my true love, is my true love. Like now they feel this love even more deeply. They feel that they had always requested and prayed to God and begged to God, like, please give me someone who's going to be with me. Please give me someone who's going to meet me, love me, adore me. Even if I'm not perfect for them, they would still like me. And when they find this person who actually tells them or makes them feel that it's okay to be imperfect, I love you the way you are, they don't believe it. They start questioning it. And this is like being too logical, being too analytical. Extra logic when it's applied, this is what happens. Back then also, they had just imagined in their own head, looking at all the testing and crisis related situations, they just imagined it, that I would not be happy with this person. This person is going to torture me, or this person is going to leave me, or this person is not for me, or this person is not the right one for me or for my family also. Because at that point in time, they were like, yeah, somebody should just come in and fit in and adjust and blah, blah, blah. So now they're like, oh my God, I just assumed everything. In their moments of overthinking and negative analysis, like things are positive, but you purposely look for negativity, then what are you going to find? If you are like totally focused on finding the flaws and the faults, then what's going to happen? What will you find? Obviously the same thing, right? Without even getting rejected by you, if someone thinks that you are a horrible person, pathetic person, just because you don't agree to some things, like that's why I said lack of spiritual maturity, because spiritually immature people expect everyone to agree with them on everything. If someone doesn't want to agree with you on something, on anything, it's okay, like drop it. If you love them, drop it. Leave it to God, like, okay, fine, they don't agree with me. All right, they're different. They have a different view. They have a different angle to this thing. Maybe their angle is also right, or maybe their angle is also wrong. Who cares? But then leave it. What's the point of stretching this conversation or this argument for so many days and for so long? So when you're not talking, like this person feels very bad that there was silence and punishment in between. Like, say they got upset with you for something and they would not talk to you for 10 days. And then after 10 days, when they'll contact you, now you don't want to talk to them for another 10 days because you're upset with them too. So now they're going to feel bad, like, oh, why is this person not talking to me for 10 days? Hello, you are the one who started it. So why don't you give the other person also the same kind of space and freedom that you were expecting? Maybe after 10 days they'll learn the lesson and they'll also be normal just the way you have become normal. But then that's never going to happen because a grudge is going to build up upon another grudge, upon another grudge, upon another grudge. So many grudges. And eventually there will be a volcanic eruption, which is what happens according to this channeling also. After this big volcanic eruption, there is no scope for improvement. And this is naturally being designed. These people have to go away in separation, and then eventually the realization would start happening step by step. So for your personal situation, you can check out the description box and you can write to me at the sunamoon@gmail.com once you're sure of what you want to go ahead with, the reading, the personal session, or the therapy. Kindly do not share your twin flame ascension journey or your experience with the twin flame or your experience in your spiritual growth in advance with me, because we are going to talk about it once we get into the personal session. Step by step, we're going to talk about it and we are going to work out on a solution. And you can also take the membership on Patreon. Patreon members also get one group class every month. And once the class is over, we would hopefully also share it with other people who cannot afford the group session also, so that everyone can benefit in some way or the other. Idea is to help as many people as we can through our own endeavors, because you know what, sharing is caring. True love is all about sharing your joy and happiness and your ascension with other people. Inner work is a lifestyle, ascension is a lifestyle, and we must never ever underestimate it. Thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out, and I'll see you soon in another one.